Hello, guys. Thanks for coming out for the panel for one of my favorite shows on TV, Izombie. Let us bring out the cast and creators of this fine show. We'll start out with, she plays Peyton, Ali Mashalka. He plays Blaine, David Anders. Playing Clive, we've got Malcolm Goodwin. We've got one of the executive producers, Diane Ruggiero Wright. She plays Liv Moore. Please welcome Rose McIver. Other executive producer, Rob Thomas. Playing Ravi, Rahul Kali. And playing Major, Robert Buckley. So, guys, I'll start with Rob and Diane because you really blew up the dynamic of the show and kind of people say, oh, our season finale is a game changer, and then it's like, okay, yeah, one little thing changed. This is a game changer for what the series is. Can you talk about coming to that decision to do that, and why do you decide this was the time for Discovery Day to happen?
We almost immediately regretted that decision, so season 3 was a dream. We're going right back. We're going right back. We started talking about that really from the first days of getting in the room on season 1 of Izombie, that there would be this evolution and that one day the secret would be too big to keep in-house and that everyone else would know, and sort of just envisioning it, we thought around season 4, that's when that should happen. And admittedly, at the time, we didn't know how many episodes we'd be doing per season, and so we may have gotten there a little earlier than we thought, but it was always kind of around season 4. We just felt like it would give us so much, so many more stories we could tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Diane, because it changes sort of the kind of show it is, because it used to be a show sort of about the secret zombies among us, and now it's about the zombies everyone knows are among us. So is that just kind of fun for you guys to really approach everything so differently?
Yeah, I think it's cool. The great thing working with Rob is he does mix it up, that season 4 discussion that he had with himself. I was saying, season 7, man, let's ride this train. And he's like, if season 7's good, let's do season 4 and make it cool. So, but Rob loves to, he does a lot of story in a season, and I think we definitely are mixing it up and having a new show. Season 4 is everything that you liked in the old show, but it's this whole new world, and it's pretty amazing.
So,
Eric, can I jump in here for a second? I brought you a gift. Is now a cool time?
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry to hijack.
Okay. I think I know what this might be.
You have no idea.
I have no idea what this might be. My own killer abs shirt. Do a better display here. I think I'm gonna have to wear this every day now. I think that's, yeah.
Got it.
Put it on.
It would,
Pop that on, Eric. Put it up. Pop it up. Put it up. Put it up.
Maybe later.
I tell you what, it'd be a shame if you started playing favorites because of that thoughtful-ass gift.
Oh my gosh. Wow. This is the greatest gift I've gotten, though, at Comi-Con. Thank you so much. Rose, Liv has had to hide for so long, what she was. So this happening, is it freeing for her, or is it just sort of a whole new sort of can of worms as far as problems are concerned?
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's a dream outcome or anything, but I think that at least she has this community around her of people who understand and know and support and have ideas. So I think had this been Discovery Day in season 1, it would have been a very different experience. It's much more of an ensemble now, and she has a lot of support. So I think it's going to be interesting what side of the fence she falls on, kind of going forward with how to handle this, because Seattle is now this new Seattle is what it's called. It's a new city, and it's walled in, and it's zombies and humans trying to live together. And I think her position on the whole thing will kind of find a new identity for her a little bit through the season, a bit more of a sort of a rebellious streak, which would be quite cool.
And, we just saw in that sizzle reel how things ended for the season, specifically with Ravi taking a huge gamble and I'm guessing, Raul, you can't tell us exactly what's going to happen next. I guess I'll ask, would you want to see Ravi as a zombie, or you like the human dynamic?
I love playing the human dynamic. I think.
Careful.
Yeah.
I'm so scared right now.
But I'd love to play a
That's
zombie.
why they sat me next to Rob. I do really enjoy playing the human side of it. You know, Clive and Peyton especially. It's what the audience can connect with as well. You need a couple of humans, but it's so tempting to have as much fun. Like seeing these guys do brains and stuff. It's so tempting to get in there.
Yeah. How do you know it if you haven't tried it?
Right?
Brains.
Everyone's doing
What
it.
do these guys want? I don't know. Human or zombie? But human. Human.
Werewolf.
Audience is split on this subject.
I think I speak for all of us when I say it would be devastating if anything happened to that beard.
You know, people do not like it on social media when you shave, man.
No, they do not.
Malcolm, it was, you know, kind of within 1 year, I feel like Clive had his whole world turned upside down because he found out that there were zombies, and now everyone knows, and now we know what's happening with Dale. So what is it like for him processing all of this at this point? Is it just kind of, is he handling it, or is it a lot for him right now?
I think both. I think it's a lot for him to handle, and it's something that he has to take, you know, day to day. You know, especially with Dale becoming a zombie, and you know, not letting her go. You know, he helps dye her hair, and so I think he's going to be there for her, just like he's been there for Liv through the process of them solving cases.
Mm-hmm. And let me talk to Mr. Killer Abs down there at the end.
Actually, I feel like Mr. Killer Abs is going to be in a real funk unless somebody wears his shirt. So if you don't mind, would I be able to wear the Killer Abs shirt?
Oh my God!
Just think it's a waste of a good gift
my
to
God,
not get this on
amazing.
display. But promise I'll give it back to you.
And you'll wear it better than I will.
Eric's looking that gift horse right in the abs.
Oh God, Rose is gonna run off.
Yeah,
Now
right.
it's priced.
Everybody sees how good it looks.
Its
you know.
price on eBay just went up so high.
There you go. I think I'm ready.
So, Mr. Buckley, Major, he has gone back and forth from the human side to the zombie side a few times now. He sort of made a big decision, though, at the end of the last season. Is he firmly now Team Zombie? Is this sort of, this is who he's decided he is now?
I think, you know, it's safe to say he's had a pretty rocky road, and he hasn't been able to really find his footing in a career or just sort of, I think, in a general life direction. I think going into season 4, we see that he really has kind of found a home in Fillmore Graves. He believes in their cause. He likes what they're doing. And I think it also just provides him a sense of purpose, which he hasn't had. Also, it helps get his mind off the whole girlfriend being exploded thing. So it's kind of a win-win.
It's a good coping mechanism. You know, David, it feels like this is this new world, this new Seattle, is one that Blaine could thrive in. Would that be correct? Should we expect things to sort of maybe be going pretty well for him in this new dynamic?
Yeah, it's fun to have Blaine back to his old mustache twirling ways. And I can say, yeah, yes, yes.
You nearly got a good spoiler.
You may speak, David Anders.
So I can say, oh wait,
Just don't tell them about those.
there's so much I can't tell. I'm actually very upset about this because Robert Knepper is a hack. You know, there's actors and there's hackers, and I've not learned a goddamn thing from that guy. We couldn't be more thrilled as a cast and as a show to have Robert Knepper with us for the long haul. The guy is a damn genius and just a terrible handshaker. Yeah, where were we? That was fantastic.
Shady plots.
That was fantastic.
I'm guessing that will
Shady
affect-
plots.
Oh, Shady Plots. So Shady Plots, yes. So Blaine is, so you know, Angus is in his well, and I've taken over his business, and Shady Plots has become a. When they told me this the other day in the writers' room, I was I plumb tickled. They said Shady Plots has become like a Michelin star cemetery to table restaurant. And I said to Dan and Rob, like, did you just say cemetery to table? And Rob said, we sure did. I was like, I hope this thing never ends because of hearing stuff like this.
What's it called?
Yeah, what is it called?
And the name of the restaurant is Romero's.
Rest in peace.
Yes, that's fantastic. So anyway, yeah, I think Blaine's doing well in this new zombie homeland.
And Daddy's coming.
But Daddy's coming.
So, Allie, Peyton as well seems like that she could be in a very important position here because the mayor offered her this job, and the mayor is a zombie, and now zombies are kind of ruling the roost. So, what's that like for her, and what does that kind of put her? Does it put her in a pretty important position now in this new Seattle?
Yeah, I mean it does. From the little things that we are given as actors that we're allowed to tell you guys. It's great knowing that Peyton has been given this new authority, especially under this kind of new leadership with the mayor and it becoming new Seattle and the fact that there are going to be more cases now that are zombie against human, which since everybody's kind of fled the city, tried to get out. She's kind of left having to prosecute some of these criminals that are kind of running amok. So it'll be great to see, I guess, to see me in a courtroom now. I'll be in a courtroom. That's cool. I was just in an office, so now I'm kind of just moving up. But yeah, I mean, I think now that The Secret is out officially and it's out into the world, it opens up so much for us as characters across the entire storyline that truly anything could happen. I mean, I do hope that Peyton stays a human because now I'm kind of like repping the few humans on the cast. So yeah, I think she has a lot of power now that she didn't necessarily have last season.
Mm-hmm. And Rob and Diane on the show, you've had sort of season-long. You've had season-long sort of villains or sort of new threats. We know Angus is coming back, but it seems like you also have just such a big new dynamic. Are you looking to introduce a new big bad, as it were, or do you kind of feel like this whole situation is going to offer plenty as it goes on?
Yeah, season 1 and season 2 were really built around, end of the season confrontations with big bads over the course of the year. Season 4, it's coming at you from all sides. I mean, Angus is going to get out of the well, and he's going to be up to no good, and he's going to have some very pro-zombie, hardcore, violent pro-zombie people on his side. There's going to be a human terrorist organization who doesn't want to see any zombie human fraternization. We decided to call them Up With People. No, wait. That has to be wrong. No, the Dead Enders. That's right, the Dead Enders. Chase Graves is going to be there at Fillmore Graves, and he's trying his best to hold down the middle, and this is not about one big bad this year. It's coming at our characters from all sides of the spectrum, from angry humans on one side to angry zombies on the other, and everyone in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Last season, there was this question of Fillmore Graves and sort of, should we trust them or not? Diane, will that still sort of be a question, especially it seems like with Major aligning himself more with them?
I feel like people, I don't know if it's just which side you fall on more than if you should trust them, but I don't know how I feel about them, to be honest. I don't know if they have my trust yet, but you're welcome for Jason Doring shirtless.
What was that?
Rob was against it, and I fought hard, ladies. You're welcome.
Well, it's some funny story from Walt, who's our wonderful who's our sound editor. I mean, we go in to do ADR when we flub up our lines, which is a lot. Buckley, what you came in after Doreen?
The sound guy said, well, there's no weights left. Jason lifted them all.
Oh my.
Jason Doring looks like if Robert Redford in a solo flex had a baby. You're welcome, audience.
I believe the first time he showed up to work, Robert, didn't you turn to me and say, "Rob, I had one job on this show."
Yeah, I shouted it across the screening room like I
mean,
had
talk
one
about
lane.
it. You're giving other people shirtless scenes. You're giving other people brains. Our identities are all in flux now. We're like, who are we?
Zero job security.
So, Rose, how does this change Liv's day-to-day undead life, I should say? Does she have sort of more power now in the police department, now that sort of everything's out in the open? Or is everyone looking at her more suspicion?
I feel like it's nice that she must be able to command a little more respect than she has done, where she's been this sort of justified by Clive, but she seemed like a sidekick for a long time, and now she's actually a real player in the game, and every detective has a zombie that they work with. Is this correct, guys?
That is correct.
So
Which
it's
is
become
genius.
Yeah,
So
it's,
smart.
she's
Just
a
like real life.
trendsetter. Yeah, exactly. She's able to have pioneered this kind of way of solving crime, which is pretty cool. And I think that she's definitely, we've talked about her kind of developing this rebellious streak and not necessarily liking the way that things are being handled, and potentially how would you explain what she sort of heads into?
I would say that one of the real friction points in the show this year will be between Liv and Major, and I think you two fall on different sides of the political line on how New Seattle has shaken out. I mean, Major has kind of gone in full tilt with the way Fillmore Graves wants to run things. It's a more militant, we have to, lock this down tight and authoritarian sort of system. And you're more of a flower child when it comes to that sort of thing. Well, or at least, you think they've pushed things a bit too far.
I'm really excited, honestly, this year. I mean, every year I feel like our show, which is a zombie comedy, drama, romance, pop, it's got, you would imagine it would be a lot lighter, but it does talk about things that I feel really passionately about, and it's communicating, hopefully, with a wide audience, some stuff that I think we need to be talking about. And this season particularly, while it's still hopefully, I don't think it's a very earnest show, but it's certainly making some comments about how we handle different opinions and different, how we integrate different ways of life. And I think that's.
I mean, there will be a serious refugee crisis in New Seattle because everyone with a terminal disease is going to want to get inside this walled city and get scratched by a zombie. But there are not enough brains to support all the zombies currently in Seattle, so Chase Graves is going to make it illegal for zombies to scratch humans and try to stem the tide of humans sneaking into Seattle to get scratched.
iZombie fans, we have part 2 of the iZombie Comic-Con panel over in that box on the left, or over on the right, we have part 3.